All right, welcome everybody to the Beyond Reps and Sets YouTube channel. Today we've got a few segments that you may enjoy. You know, what we talk about is fitness, and we want to bring some of this information to the mainstream public.
For sure.
We want to provide some information that's digestible for the beginner, the intermediate, and I hope we can have you advanced guys and girls in here as well in the comment section.
Professor once told me you can never go over the basics too many times.
Yes, we always start with the basics and we return with the basics.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so our first segment, we discuss the discovery workout.
Yes.
So this is a term that we coined.
I gotta give you credit, man. You definitely took the lead on that. With coming up with this term.
I know there are probably other terms out there, but basically a discovery workout is an opportunity to understand where your starting point is. When is this useful? This is useful for the beginner that hasn't done a workout before. They haven't done a specific exercise, right? Something that's novel to you. When you are new to an exercise, you don't know how much weight to put on the bar or if you should even be using weight.
Or what form of the exercise. Should I start with dumbbells or should I go right to the barbell? Do I start with my body weight? How am I going to progress?
Exactly. So the discovery workout is here for that reason. Now, if you are an experienced lifter and you haven't done it for 6 months to a year, because we know sometimes life happens.
Like a global pandemic, but what are the odds of something like that happening?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it's important when we are trying to get back into working out to remember that we have muscle memory. Sometimes that muscle memory can actually put us in a bad place.
Yeah. Depending how long, and like it doesn't take long for muscles to atrophy as well too. So if you're expecting to do exactly what you were doing 6 months ago, you also have to shift the paradigm a little bit and go into more of the discovery workout, like what we're gonna get into today.
Haven't we always? I think we've all been there, right? You haven't touched a bench press in 6 months, and you get on the bench, and maybe you're training with your buddies, and they've been working out consistently, but you're back there with them, and you throw 2 plates on the bar, and you know because of the environment and your motivation, you don't want to look like a wimp. You eke out 5 repetitions or so, and the next day you pay for it.
Damn, eking out 5 on 225 after 6 months, even if I'm out the gym for like 2 months and I try to do anything, like you're talking about my two rep max right there, you know?
Okay, well, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
For you, for someone, it could be 135.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do this to me, Adam. Don't do this to me.
The weight on the bar doesn't matter. It's individual. It's individual. Anyways,
I'm very proud of my 225.
The point I'm trying to make is, if you were training alone, you probably wouldn't be able to eke out the 5 reps.
No.
But because you're training with your boys, you don't want to get shown up. That inhibitory pathway actually shuts off, and you're able to do that 5 reps, and you may suffer for the next 3-4 days, and that's what we don't want. So the discovery workout allows us to understand our true starting point. So what I'm talking about is, if we have a program laid out for us, and we know that we want to do 8 to 12 repetitions, and we don't know yet how much load to put on, we've got to figure that out.
I would even take it a step further to be like, if I'm now from the beginner perspective, and I know that one of my goals is to work my legs, and I want to tone or build up or build muscle in my lower half, I would have to still take this necessary approach because we know how important being in the right technique would be. And choosing the right exercise to build up the foundational strength you're going to need to be able to take that to progress is what we're going to need to establish first and foremost.
And in some cases, you're going to need to figure out what kind of program works best for you at that point, because you've been off of the gym for 6 months or you've never worked out before, right? This is the type of thing that I think we are trying to help people out with. Okay? So first off, we want to understand why we're doing the discovery workout, okay? That we've hashed out. Second, we need to also understand RPE, rate of perceived exertion.
Yeah.
Right? RPE is from 0 to 10, 10 being excessive fatigue or just extreme difficulty, right? 0 being effortless. We want to know exactly how to get to a reasonable RPE, and the RPE can be programmed specifically based on what your goals are. So how do we start this discovery workout? We want to start with, this is how we do it. This is what we recommend.
Here at BRS,
We start at a repetition range of 15 to 20, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how many repetitions if we're seeking hypertrophy or even strength, especially for a new weightlifter or an intermediate, right?
it's so novel of a stimulus, whatever they're going to be doing. As long as they're in the right technique, they're going to see the gains.
Yes, I was reading a study the other day, and they used beginners, and they wanted to see if the rep range actually mattered, as long as the RPE, the intensity, was equal. So they used three different intensities. Okay, what they used was 1 rep max, so percentage of 1 rep max.
Right.
Okay, so 1 repetition max means it's a weight that you could only lift 1 repetition.
So even like gun to your head, you would not be able to eke out another one. This is your max amount of effort at the time.
Right. This is not my recommendation for a beginner to try.
Why not? Why not? Why would we want to put someone who's never trained before as maximal effort?
Exactly, but it seems like a lot of the literature, they talk about 1 rep max. I know there's ways of figuring out the 1 rep max through equations,
Yep.
right? So you're not actually lifting that 1 repetition to failure. I think this is for the discovery, this discovery workout allows us, right, to do that. So in this study, basically, to summarize it, it didn't matter what rep range is, as long as we were working to a perceived exertion of the same amount, which was between 7 and 9 out of 10 RPE. Okay, so whatever rep range is. What is your opinion of the discovery workout, and what is your experience using it?
So it's imperative, if you're working with beginners, to go through what their actual RPE is, simply because they won't know, and they're not really going to be able to train truly to failure in the first place. So some people assume soreness is pain and that's bad, and they shouldn't be feeling that. So there's an education piece there in terms of, for someone who's never even played sports in high school or ever was really active and now wants to get into it in their late 20s and or even later on in their life as in adulthood, that, hey, we're going to take you and put you in a position safely, either with a dumbbell or a TRX or body weight. Body weight is usually the first thing after an assessment, and gets you to feel that sort of soreness, that sort of tension, and become accustomed to it and build your tolerance up from that. And then once you're in that position mentally, you're ready to go to the next stage. If we try to circumvent that, to assume or just go through and start throwing weight at people, you might discourage, your risk of injury goes up. So the discovery of what rep ranges we're supposed to be in, getting that person aware of what their levels are, how much they can tolerate at that certain time. Are there any impingements? Is super, super crucial.
Studies show, last thing, studies show that beginners stop 5 to 7 repetitions shy of true failure.
Even when attempting to
get to failure.
Wow.
If you like this segment, stay tuned to our next segment where we discuss progressive overload and why it's an important concept when you're trying to hit your fitness goals.